Hi there and welcome to a video provided by Crisis Support Solutions. My name is Dory and I am one of the partners and founders with Crisis Support Solutions. Our other partner founder is named Joey, and we are happy to have you along for this introductory video where this topic we're going to talk about what is a crisis. Now, in order to understand what a crisis is, let's talk very briefly about what a crisis is not, because there are a lot of folks out there that believe that or think that the event itself or the tragedy or the incident is actually the crisis. And I'm going to argue that it's not. And I often draw that sort of that event or that tragedy like that. And so you may find what I mean by incident or event, whether it's a natural disaster like a flood, or it's a human-made disaster or tragedy like an active shooter situation that are far too popular in this day and age right now, sadly. Those are the incidences, or those are the events that are involved. Now, what makes the crisis is following the event as the catalyst. What follows that is the intense and immediate reaction that an individual has following that incident or that event. So before the incident ever occurred, you have an individual who there is in a state of balance and walking and talking, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they're happy, but it just means that they're functioning. And then comes along this tragedy or this crisis, this critical incident that they never saw coming, and the reaction that they have, just depending on, which we'll talk about later, but for our purposes, introduction purposes here, we'll just use the term devastating, because they never saw it coming and they couldn't prepare for it. And so therefore, it knocks them off of their sense of balance. And they've gone from balanced and functioning to disrupted and disturbed, just to name a few, disrupted and disturbed. And so these reactions, what people experience with these reactions, given this critical incident, is that this individual that's now knocked off their state of balance is having a reaction, and these reactions are going to disrupt or disturb the way that they think, and this is universal, the way that they feel, what they do or how they behave, what they believe now about themselves, about the world around them. And finally, the final category, the reactions, even includes their body. And here's a great picture as an example of this, of a woman being carried away that looks like a structure behind her has fallen. And so she's having a physical reaction. You can also have again, universally, we're going to have cognitive reaction, emotional or affective reactions, our behavioral reactions. Belief doesn't necessarily have to mean spiritual, but it can be a spiritual or a religious reaction, and then physical reactions as well, all based on that sense that a person is in crisis because of a critical incident, which we'll talk next about more about a critical incident, and they are having a powerful and intense reaction. That will definitely react or disrupt the way they think, the way they feel, what they do, how they believe, and their body as well. So in closing on this very quick video, just a couple of points to consider and remember is that the crisis is not the event. The crisis is the powerful reactions that an individual or a group of individuals has following the catalyst of that event itself. So thank you so much for joining us for this very brief video on understanding what is a crisis. For more information on critical incident or crisis response, continue to check out our videos and leave us a comment, because we certainly want to hear from you. Thanks again so much for joining us.